No intro today. It's a late night video. And I just want to get the ideas down. Well, the ideas are fresh in my mind. You know how you're sleeping good, you wake up for something. Dry eyes. Then you try and go back to sleep and your mind is just activated. So I just wanted to get some things off my chest here. To me it feels like a heart-centered mind. Maybe that's debatable. In this world, you see things locking down. When I make an assessment of something, I'm not just looking at one aspect of it. I look at a lot of different things. Timing is a key one because life is timing. You know, we're starting to question the validity of our freedom to speak and share opinions and ideas right now, as if those are a cause for concern, when it is the exact opposite, which is the primary concern, not being able to share information, perspectives, analysis, not being able to speak about what you're seeing, being told it's a narrative and to be a good boy, but a good girl, and just do as you're told, follow the script. You know, we're going through these profound changes right now. We're seeing extreme weather all over the world, things happening that don't normally happen. We've got many camps, many ideas behind this. We've got a global pandemic, which a lot of people think is a plandemic, and I see a lot of evidence to support that. I mean, just look at the coagulation of coincidence and you can start to formulate your own opinions. And then you see the paradigm change, the shifting of power. And you can look at a lot of experiences in your life, what you know, and you can see the allegories from micro to macro in scale. So I don't really want to get into the rights and wrongs, because that's all relative and colored by our subjective experiences. So I just want to get into some analogies here for you. Now, I've been a long time outsider. I'm a Uranus ascendant. I'm a deep thinker. I think a lot. I'm a subjective person. But that subjectivity I balance with the objectivity of others in the world around me. So it's not simply delusion, and I'm not simply caught up in illusion. Let's speak about technocracy, control, change, security, safety, the Capricorn Cancer axis on a cultural societal scale. Now, working in IT, I see the patterns clearly because you have to be one of those manager-minded types of people to integrate technology well and be able to optimize the experience and the use. So, for instance, you work at a company. The company uses software that's old, outdated. The company that created it is no longer in business, or they're going out of business, or they were purchased by another company, so they're no longer updating the software. Now, that's not a problem for a few years, but then you start to see either bugs in the environment with the product, or there are growing concerns about the security of the product because it's not being updated, not being maintained. And I could argue to the contrary on the security front, but each application is different. So you start to do the work and investigate, well, what are the options? What products can we migrate to so that we can keep the functions rolling in the business? You do the work, you find the product, you do some testing, you set it up in a lab, you work with the users, you find out what they're doing, and you try and understand their workflows and integrate those and test it best you can as a non-frontline worker in the trenches, just with your own overarching perspective from a technology aspect. You do your work, you get approvals, you find the new software, you institute it. And you find that a lot of the functions work. But then you find out a lot of the functions don't work. You find a lot of the workflows no longer work as they once did. And not only do the users, the people using the software, actually have to put up with the stress of learning the new software, they also have to figure out how to make the new software work within their deadlines and to their specifications for their workflows, because no group, no individual is an island unto themselves. They have to be able to work cohesively in the larger scope. And, the people come to you with their complaints, and there's nothing you can do. You can just listen and try and help and come up with solutions for them. Optimize the workflows, work with support, try and see if there's a better way to do something. Sometimes you can. Usually there's always a balance, 50% good, 50% change. And not all change is bad. There's always a percentage of that falls on the shadow side. So that's just one allegory. Now imagine if technocracy was your local government, your country, a global government, a society of mind hiving out of what they call a great reset. Now imagine if the inadequacy of the software, the tool, was your freedom, your ability to think, your ability to share your perspective. Imagine if that freedom was deemed evil because it put other people at risk, because it put the utopian dream at risk. Everyone wants the utopian dream. Imagine if it was demonized because it put the earth at risk. And I'm not saying that people are infallible, everyone makes mistakes, We need to upgrade our consciousness in this world. What was it Einstein said? Probably someone else said it, and he was attributed with saying it, but I don't care about the details. But a solution to the problem cannot be resolved using the logic that created the problem, the consciousness that created the issue. And we're trying to solve problems of relativity, from the premise that the relative is good and we are the bad. And on the individual level, when you're trying to make decisions for a greater good, trying to see what can I sacrifice, what can I hang on to. It's very hard to do if you're projecting everything within yourself out into the world as a black and white issue that sees none of the details. There is no heart-centered mind that grounds in spirit when you're looking at culture. And in this time, all the shit that's going on out there, it's pulling us into our minds, away from our hearts. And what does the heart do? It informs us. The heart, it is the place where body and mind ground into spirit. And when you can't get there, you can't tune into the earth. And she's going through her changes right now. When you can't get into the earth, you can't make informed decisions for yourself because you're out of alignment. You're aligned with a paradigm that's crumbling, a system that's antiquated, mindsets that are starting to devolve and corrupt because they're changing. But yet they're clinging to the old and trying to enhance, to carry it on to that utopian dream. People are willing to give up their humanity, their spirit, for this shit show we see going on. And the ones that aren't just want to burn it down. A lot of good-hearted people, good-minded people, they are questioning things. They see value in the traditions. They see value in an overarching perspective. But even they, even me, everyone, we're limited to what we can understand through our subjective experiences and how we relate. And right now, it's very hard to stay within yourself. And we're looking for something. I seek simplicity, I seek ground. place where like minds, like hearts, like spirits can see truth, reality in the simple things in life. Who the hell is out there right now that isn't caught up in this, you know? I know there are people out there. Some call them hippie communes, others call them cults. Some call them movements. Others demonize their faults. You know, sheep are quick to judge because they are afraid to stand out. They want mommy and daddy to like them, protect them. But in the end, you do more harm than good by acquiescence. And the only way to stand up is to get into that heart-centered mind. Otherwise, you're just creating more chaos. And chaos ain't all bad, that's nature, you know. But when you've got quote-unquote little men, petty individuals, orchestrating, architecting shit, then you become a pawn in a scheme. Let's try and tap into the earth. Tap into yourself. Cut through all that stuff and get down to what it is, the shadow within you. And then from there, you know, then you rise. Well, thanks for your time. Take care.